I'm not the only one happy to be outside, huh? Whoa, close up. So welcome back to the channel. I know enough to be dangerous. My name's Rob. We're going to take a little early spring tour. Really excited to be outside. The sun's out. Man, it's about 42, feels like 82 though. It's all perspective. I just wanted to show you a couple things. Maybe see how our sheep fat's doing. Take a little tour of the garden. You know, it's going to be March 1st in a couple days, so the garden doesn't look like much, but let's take a look. First thing you notice is we got a fence. You know, it's 8 foot, well, it's a 7 foot fence, and I love weed cloth. That's the commercial grade. The lines are, a lot of greenhouses and growers, they'll put their pots down those lines, keep them nice and straight, but we use it here for weed control. And what we'll do is we'll roll it all the way back to each side, and then we'll bring the tractor in here and rototill it, probably add some compost or something, and then rototill that in. I do have some sprinkler heads in there. You can see some white stands there. These are I had some wobblers in there, just I'm running off the house pressure from a garden hose, so these impacts got the best range and water volume. There's a section of fence down the middle here, right there, that I'll take out because we're going to make actually bigger, and it won't all be produce and stuff, but we're going to put some seedling beds in here. We'll get some sand, some clean sand, and then we'll make some seedling beds so we can put our young seedlings in and then grow them another 2 years. So we'll put down through here. We had trees planted in here, but it's so wet. It stays wet too long and gets wet too early. So we'll be able to put some squash, or going to try up on top where it's a little drier. Maybe some, she's investigating. She's not usually allowed out here by herself. We'll put some more sweet corn in up on the upper side where it's steeper, it stays a little drier, but down here we'll put raised beds of sand, and then we'll have the fence go all the way down there where those 2 garbage trees are, way down there, and then wrap around. And that row of trees is the backside of what we showed before. So there's a couple tree bottoms that blew down here in the wind, which is amazing to me that they blew through all that to get down here. But this is the garden. You can see where I had the corn. We're going to put a lot more corn in. That did pretty good. Usually corn doesn't do very good. This is very sterile ground. It was a lot of subsoil was pushed over here. Probably somebody that rented a bulldozer and didn't have a master plan. Pushed a lot of subsoil over here. You guys know that's very sterile. So we've been adding organic matter. This fence goes all the way around. There's a section down the middle because we made it bigger already, and we'll take this section out, and we're going to go the whole length of this field, and part of it will have sand seedling beds in there. So lift beds they're called, so we can just pull out the smaller trees. That's one of the tops that blew out of this field. So here's the field we're going to make. It's hard to tell as far as reference, but there's a row of bigger spruce on the west side, and then some Norways on the east side. We're going to keep those there just for a windbreak for a few years. The Norways we'll keep anyways, but these Colorados eventually go, but we're going to keep them there for a windbreak. What we do most of the time with our Colorados, overgrown Colorados, is we cut them, I don't know, about 5 feet up into here, and then we use the tree shear. I'll show you that in a second. But the bottom we'll cut down below with a tree shear, and then you're left with some nasty stump like that you have to be careful with your tractor tires and stuff like that. But we'll grind that down. Look at all well, these are the bottoms of the trees. I just kind of pushed them out of the way as we were harvesting for this Christmas season. So we'll go from this way up there, and in between, I don't know, we'll get maybe 20 rows, 6 on 6. We're going to try 6 on 6 this field. Yeah, it's good ground, so we got to utilize what we can. and then a couple of those down there are split top ones. We'll just cut them. We couldn't use them for anything. And these three up here we'll use for Christmas trees next year. We'll just hold on to them till next year. But there's a couple rows of old stumps, and we'll grind them all down, and then we'll plant in between the other rows with the plow, the seedling plow, just so we don't catch too many roots. And then we'll mow where the stumps are. But we'll do that this spring when we're not, rutting it up. It's just too soft right now. We'll have to chip up all these. I used to burn these, but I don't know. It just gets away from you. But I know you don't want to burn. Some of you people are saying you don't want to burn, but we just use it, incorporate it right back into the soil. So it's a main ingredient in fertilizer, potash. So over here, that's looking back. And then through here, we're going to plant a couple more big ones in this gap here, Norways, just so a windbreak for the house. We'll check some of the trees back here. I only treat these back here once, see if the deer messed with them. These were just treated with sheep's fat just once. Don't look too bad. Let's go check a couple of these little trees out. This is one of the fields that we're going to fence in. And one of the fields that we planted 2,000 trees, and in a weekend they just destroyed them. But it didn't kill them. Didn't kill them. That's about 2 foot. That's a nice shaped little tree. That's a Canaan fir. Guess that's how you say it. And then there's some more tree tops and totes up there. We're going to drip tube this field too. There's the post for the future fence. And these larger Norways, we'll just let them go. They're nice for privacy and wind and all sorts of stuff. There's some more baby trees. It's funny, you get a tree like that, they all plant at the same time. A tree like that, that's like 24 feet, and you get this guy. Probably genetics. There's a couple more water tanks. That's the one we put on the trailer. Some more tree tops, or tree bottoms actually. And this is part of that field we looked at earlier. So these guys, we might try to save these for a couple years, and the Charlie Brown Christmas tree, they're just not good enough. That one probably would be if we trim it. Like that one would be good too. We just trim it so we take that much of the tree and sell it for a Christmas tree instead of wasting the whole thing. There's one of the water towers that we'll use for drip tube. We have a nice hill here, so we'll put the towers up here, have kind of like a filling station, and then run the lines going down the hill. And I think you get 7 pounds of pressure per foot of drop. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but something like that. And then you got to reduce the size of the pipe and all that stuff. But we're going to put right that posted sign up there. We'll put a couple tanks, fill them, have a little filling station so we can just pull a tractor up and fill them. And then gravity will be our pressure. The drip tube doesn't take much. Sorry about the wind. Drip tube doesn't take much to make it work. And we don't need it much. We've had a couple really dry summer. And a good thing about Christmas trees is they do all their growing in the spring when water is readily available as far as rainwater, and then they kind of harden off. And in the summertime, and if you get a dry spell, it's not a huge deal, but the first and second year seedlings, it's tough. You got to get them through that first 2 years to get the root development, and then you're fine. Just let them go, and you just got to worry about deer pressure and pests and the bugs and stuff like that. But if you can get them through that first, I'll go over here out of the wind. If you can get them through that first couple of years, then you're good to go. Let's go check this lower field, see how the sheep's fat's doing. This thing blew out of the dingweeds here out into the roadway. We had a couple storms over the winter. as you can hear, it's pretty sloppy. You bring a tractor up in here, you're just going to be making a mess, and it's tough to get any sort of traction. Then you get frustrated at what you're trying to accomplish. So here's this lower field where we did the sheep's fat. You got some orange ones in there. That's not a good sign, but some seasoned veterans always told me leave them in there till they turn more of a reddish than orange. They're more of an orange right now. So a couple of these got hit this fall with a buck. There's nothing you can do about that, I guess. But like this one got hit. You know, little baby buck not knowing what he's doing or just being a jerk. But a little orange still, they'll drop that. But here's a nice one. Usually by this time they're starting to really gnaw into those. That's just a ugly duckling. Look at this guy. This guy hit last fall. The buck rubbing on it. I don't mind losing a couple, but when they go through the whole field, that's a nice one. Well, they look good, because if it wasn't working, these buds are very attractive this time of year. That's a nice tree too. Some nice trees through here. I wish I'd train them to eat the weeds. Here's some more trees that are topped. Down here, what we're going to do is something a little different. As you can see, these were topped a couple years ago. And what they'll try to do is send a new leader up. Like all that new growth right there. That'd be the size of that new growth right there going vertical. That would be the size I'd be putting in the ground. So what I'm going to try is just trim this down, this bottom branches down, and just let this go and shape that, and then see how fast I can get a tree off of this existing rootstock. Basically, see, this one did the same thing, filling right back in. We used to get trees back when I was a kid from a guy that used to train them, cut them about 2 foot. Then he'd train them he'd made these little things to train the leaders go straight. I just don't want it to be an eyesore. We can see this field from the house right next to the driveway. But it looks like it's doing it. Look at this one. That one's going vertical. You know, if I just trimmed these two here and let that one right there just go, I bet I'd have another tree in maybe 3 years. Well, I think that's it for the little mini tour. We got out of the house. You know, you might joke about cabin fever, and I say it quite a bit, but it's a real thing. You feel so much better getting out on a day like today and walking around. That's, you know, assuming that you like to be outside. Most people that get cabin fever like to be outside like myself. So thanks for stopping in, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know enough to be dangerous, farm. Take care. Bye.